Who would win? The immortal omnipotent god of war. One dyslexic 6th grader. Percy. Who are you? Monster. You killed me and sent me to Tartarus. Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down? Sea of monsters. Sea of monsters, if people just trusted Tyson. Your friend likes Percy Jackson. He prefers the movies. On Halloween, Nico opens the door of the Hades cabin. Nico sees literally the entire camp standing in front of his cabin. Nico, camp. Nico, camp. Nico, really? Camp, yes. Nico, find the earth shakes. Skeletons crawl out from it and start to dance. Apollo cabin. Play spooky scary skeletons. Greek mythology. Roman mythology. Apollo. Never let these guys meet each other. Beach Boys, City Girls, Mountain Goats. Ain't this the trio from Percy Jackson? Riordanverse or Marvel crossover would be funny, cause imagine the Canes walking down an alley and seeing Moon Knight standing there like, keep climbing, he told himself. Cheeseburgers, his stomach replied. Shut up, he thought. With fries, his stomach complained. Most authors at the beginning of a book, thank you to my family, you gave me the support I needed for my lovely child, enjoy the story, thank you for reading. Rick Riordan. To Memellion, the muse of tragedy, I hope you're pleased with yourself. Give Percy a straight answer to his questions or draw 25. Literally every character in the first book. I don't really have any strong opinions on anything. Selena Beauregard was a traitor. What Frank looks like before House of Hades. What Frank looks like after House of Hades. Me with symptoms of both ADHD and dyslexia. Maybe I'm a demigod. In my dreams I was back in Hades' garden. The Lord of the Dead paced up and down holding his ears, while Nico followed him waving his arms. Hades. Nico. Teacher, class, does anyone know anything about Greek mythology? Step aside, peasants. My time has come. Everyone. We need a plan of attack. Coach Hedge. I have a plan. Attack. Dear. You can't defeat me. The gods. I know, but he can. 7 heavily traumatized teenagers. Percy. Hey, I saved the world. Zeus. Do you want to be a god? No, I want you to be better parents. Hera. Put him to sleep, dear. Gods, I have come to take you. Percy. Let me ask my mom. Gods, it's not a choice. Percy, she said no. Rereading Percy Jackson, when you're old enough to pronounce everything correctly. I raise an eyebrow. Who are you? Your local hoe. And what is your name? Ho. And let me guess, you're a child of Aphrodite. Camp Jupiter. Yeah, a god showing up here is a super big deal. It's a very rare occurrence, it doesn't even happen within a lifetime for some. Camp Half-Blood points to Dionysus, been stuck with this dumbass since 1973. Please, for the love of God, take him. Percy, when his plan actually works, even though Annabeth said it wouldn't. No one. Hera in Heroes of Olympus. Percy at Camp Half-Blood. Jason at Camp Jupiter. Jason at Camp Half-Blood. Percy at Camp Jupiter. Me as an adult realizing that Rick just made up the fact that Romans sucked on water. The First Punic War oversimplified. I tried very hard, but I can't help it. The fates are cruel. They sent you to me, my brave one, knowing that you would break my heart. But I'm just me. That is enough, Calypso promised. I told myself, would not even speak of this. I would let you go without even offering. But I can't. I suppose the fates knew that too. You could stay with me. Percy, I'm afraid that is the only way you could help me. 12 and 22-year-old me. Incel Harry Potter vs Chad Jackson family. Please kill Voldemort, he is literally Wizard Hitler. No, I can't use the killing curse, that's evil. Wanna turn that abusive asshole Gabe into a statue then sell him. LMAO sure. Harry Potter killing a blind basilisk at age 12. Percy Jackson besting heirs in a duel at age 12. Blackjack. Other Pegasi. Percy and his friends are about to die, and the Titans are gonna take over. The gods. I sleep. Someone sits on their throne. The gods. Real shit. The power of Percy Jackson as a son of Sally Jackson. The power of Percy Jackson as a son of Poseidon. A summary of the Percy Jackson books. Percy Jackson and the Unexpected Quest 1. Percy Jackson and the Unexpected Quest 2. Percy Jackson and the Unexpected Quest 3. Percy Jackson and the Unexpected Quest 4. Percy Jackson and There's No Quest. This time I'm leading a war against my grandfather. What about the heroes of Olympus? Where's Percy? There's Percy. The book that broke our hearts. The book that Rick sort of apologized in. The book where Percy got a bloody nose. Bob. Any other Titan? Monsters getting killed in Percy Jackson be like. Duck you and I'll see you tomorrow. Me as a kid relating to the characters in Percy Jackson. Me older realizing that I just have massive trauma and I'm gay. The Minotaur in Tartarus needing to explain to his buddies how he fumbled killing a 12-year-old. My sister Trina convinced me to read the Percy Jackson books. Me reading the chapters titles. Never ask a woman her age, a man, his salary, and Rihanna, Nico, and Coach Hedge what happened in Albania. This is literally Annabeth and Percy's relationship. You idiot. I'm sure you're right. But why? The fandom when making Fan Percy. Percy being characterized as a soft boy who is far too silly and love Adove to do anything wrong. Percy being characterized as this cool, badass, sassy, unfearing war machine. Percy Jackson. Percy finding out who his father is. Really? Are you sure? About to go fight. I'll post the video after. I got my ass beat bro, I'm not posting that shit. I survived my Hunger Games twice. Yeah, well I got out of a maze that nobody could crack for 2 years. That's cute. I killed the Dark Lord twice. And I have a cool scar. But I'm Percy Jackson. My wife doesn't want to instill her fear of spiders in our kids, so she calmly reports them to me like some kinda mafia boss. Percy, there's a situation near the sink. I need you to take care of it. No loose ends. I want proof when the job is done. Percy, Grover, and Thalia. Damn puns. Is this comedy? Nico D'Angelo needing his sister by his side. I need you. By Anka leaving him in the first chance she got. I can't. Thalia, you can fly? Jason, you can't do that, huh? Me thinking I'd be a geek demigod. My middle name being Phrygia. My Norse heritage. Annabeth. Hey Percy, do you really think Luke got the chance to go to Elysium? Percy. Percy in Titan's Curse. Obianka got lost. Anzo died. And Nico turned into an outcast. But I saved Annabeth. This was as far as they could take us. The river was blocked. A dam the size of a football stadium stood in our path. Hoover Dam, Thalia said. It's huge. This is where the fun begins. Me after reading Percy Jackson. Maybe I'm a demigod. Percy be like, God, I wonder who my godly parents is. Completely normal about this. Canon. Friends. Fanon. Found family. What's y'all's favorite canon versus fanon depiction chat? Zeus, god of thunder. Poseidon, god of the sea. Hermes, I'm fast as duck boy. Jason, I have the best point of view. Piper, no, I have. Annabeth, I have the best one. Meanwhile, the average Percy and Leo point of view. So anyway I started blasting. Kronos trying to have a private war meeting. Percy trying to sleep. Does anyone else ever think about the fact that celestial bronze shooting guns canonically exist in the Riordanverse and no one we know ever uses them? Like Piper literally turned down a shotgun for a tiny ass knife because it was a better fit. Demigods tend to die young, yeah, because you'll keep passing over the practical weaponry in favor of the aesthetic. When the next chapter is in the point of view of that one character you couldn't care less about. The Percy Jackson series. The Percy Jackson series, if Percy had a gun. Percy in his own point of view. Percy in everyone else's point of view. Annabeth sat up and glared at her ankle. You had to break, she scolded it. The ankle did not reply. Percy, water. Frank, can turn into animal at will. Hazel, I'm gonna pay you this precious stone to duck off. If Percy Jackson met Harry Potter, all I know is Percy isn't naming his kid Dionysus Cronus Jackson. Mythologies are so boring there's no way you can make them likable. Uncle Rick. Observe. Chiron irritably calling another meeting after finding out another senior counselor from Aphrodite Cabin has started an OnlyFans. The half-bloods who died because of him. Luke arriving in Elysium after sacrificing himself. Me watching the Percy Jackson show. Me realizing it's going to take at least 20 years until there's a live action Heroes of Olympus. Percy, Annabeth, Rachel, Calypso, Nico, Rihanna. Rihanna, well, I bet Jason's still single, and if not, I still have Percy, Annabeth and Piper. Today we shall learn how to deliver maximum emotional damage. My sister, Percy Jackson, Harry Potter. But, he raised his hand, and my mother flinched. For the first time, I realized something. Gabe had hit my mother. I didn't know when, or how much, but I was sure he'd done it. Maybe it had been going on for years, when I wasn't around. Literally everyone reading. Me finally realizing the S in Livesk is silent. How many other lies have I been told by the council? Annabeth and PJO, I don't like Percy. Also Annabeth when someone shows the slightest attraction to Percy. Are you going to sleep now? Yes, shut up. Poseidon knew about Gabe's abuse, but couldn't intervene, because of the oath. Me when on December 20th watching Percy Jackson, and pretending I don't know what will happen. Pretends to be shocked. Apollo who recently became mortal. All the enemies of Apollo. Me when I first learned that Adolf Hitler is the son of Hades in PJO. Confused screaming. Annabeth reading Percy's eulogy. All of Camp Half-Blood mourning his death. Percy coming back to camp after his vacation on Calypso's island. Annabeth at 12. No Percy, you can't say that about gods, they might get upset. Annabeth at 18. Duck them gods. Being like JK Rowling. Being Uncle Rick, seriously thank you. I ducking hate these people. The Durslers treat me like shit and they forced me to live in a closet for 11 years. Why do I have to keep living with them instead of going literally anywhere else when the school year ends? Because they're your family. I'm going to give the head of Medusa to my mom, and she's going to turn my stepfather into a statue with it for being an abusive jackass. Hell yeah Percy. Tell her to sell the statue and use it to pay for her degree. Yes, go get my shield. Percy, quest. I'm already on a quest. Percy when Mars arrives in Camp Jupiter. I do not know who I am. I don't know why I'm here, but I know we have beef. The end of the Battle of the Labyrinth be like. The Council of Satyrs. No, you lie. Pan is alive. Grover who literally saw him fade in the air. Every other mythological pantheon watching the Kronos invading NYC be like. The duck they doing over there? Rick Riordan when people complain and ask who casted the actors. Well, of course I know him. He's me. We need a name for our lunar operations. Khonsu. Artemis. Apollo. Employee of the month. Percy hanging out on a Gigia with cute chick named Calypso. Everyone else at Camp Half-Blood who think he's dead. Okay, so we all know that Percy is completely blind and didn't realize that Annabeth liked him for years, but can we talk about the fact that she would randomly grab his hand because she was scared multiple times and he'd just bring out the under regular circumstances I would be embarrassed, but and then dish out some lame excuse about why he was letting her hold his hand. Like bro, these are your regular circumstances, just admit you like her already. Percy, Sharon, gods, entire future of Olympus and demigods. Empire State Building staff after Percy Jackson was released. Damn you, Rick Riordan. Remember when Percy Jackson used her iPad to fight Medusa, peak of cinema. It's funny since they couldn't even have phones. Percy Jackson fans trying to claim their Incestuous ships aren't incest. A Song of Ice and Fire fans shamelessly owning up to shipping incest. Demigods. Being a half-blood is scary and means monsters will always be after you. Most of us don't survive into adulthood. Fans. I'm totally an Apollo kid. Annabeth. You took everything from me. Jason. I don't even know who I am. Augustus appears for 2 seconds. Percy, Grover got really old. How long have we been here? The Senri Marvel. Lapidus Percy Jackson. Amnesiac goofball named Bob. I wish Percy Jackson could be a TV show, and like each book would be a season. You're about 4 years too early. Jason trying to understand why he's in a bus with a Hispanic goofball and a baddie. When people start telling adult Harry Potter fans they are too old to go to Hogwarts. Percy Jackson fans. Grover, maybe we could stop at the gift shop. Get a damn souvenir. Failure. Or we could get some food at the damn snack bar. Grover. Failure. Zoe. Zeus the other gods too, but him specifically. Percy, pay your child support. Jackson. Me seeing Lance Reddick playing Zeus in the TV series. Me know it's his final on-screen performance. Avatar. TLA fans. Percy Jackson fans. Not having a live action film. Me, yeah. Percy and Annabeth deserve some rest. Let the others have the attention for a while. Also me at the start of every damn book. Where is Perkabeth? Are they safe? Are they alright? Percy Jackson fans. Celestial Bronze. Imperial Gold. Stygian Iron. Get the job done 100%. Annabeth would chose this one. Not too sure what this one does, but it's blue. Avatar The Last Airbender fandom. Percy Jackson fandom. We don't talk about the movie. Teacher, okay class, today we are going to learn about Greek mythology. Kid who read all the Percy Jackson books. Kid who played every God of War game. Me a Greek student. Mr. D when he is exiled to Camp Half-Blood as director. I won't kill kids. That's a rule. But that rule's negotiable if the kid's a dick. Percy Jackson show lovers. Percy Jackson show haters. Hating Percy Jackson show episode 6. Percy after Sally got kidnapped. This is the worst day of my life. The Oracle. This is the worst day of your life so far. The 7. It's cool how Percy has 2 sides. Sometimes, he's a fearless noble warrior, and other times, he's a lovable goofball. Annabeth. There's 3, actually. Percy Jackson, bends water. Poseidon, claims Percy as his son. Everyone in Camp Half-Blood. The campers are not intellectual, to put it mildly. Harry Potter. They changed a line in my movie. Artemis Fowl. My movie was cringy. Amateurs. What was that? Punk. Percy Jackson. Amateurs. The Lighting Thief. Percy. Goodbye quest. I survived. I will never suffer again. Never. The Second Titan War. The Second Giant War. Percy when it comes to getting girls without trying at all. Monster. Tries to attack Rachel. Rachel. Takes out gun. Monster. Wait. I thought Half-Bloods didn't use guns. Rachel. Am I wearing a cam shirt? Monster, no. Rachel, am I wearing a pearl necklace? Monster, no. Rachel, shame. Loads gun. Percy on blackjack. Mr. D, I have to go on this quest to save Annabeth. Mr. D, no. Percy, I might die. Mr. D, understandable, have a nice day. Rick Riordan, I hate the movies. They are very not book accurate. Me. So the show will be book accurate, right? Right? Is asking for Percy Jackson game like that one too much? Leo. Percy. Everyone else trying to be serious. Percy Jackson. The book. The graphic novel. The movie and show. When Sharon comes back after a week's vacation. Campers. Mr. D. You left us in the hands of him. No offense. No, I'm with you. The gods in Olympus arguing. Why Percy is the half-blood of the great prophecy instead of Thalia. This is the one. Seriously? The choices were him or a tree. Percy after going into the labyrinth with Annabeth, Rachel and Nico having no clue that all of them like him. Book 1. Look, I didn't want to be a half-blood. If you're reading this because you think. Book 6. Look, I didn't want to be a high school senior. I was hoping my dad could write me a note. Harry Potter. Can't you do something about your superiority complex? Percy Jackson. But I'm superior. Rick saying that Annabeth and Percy just fell asleep in the stables. The entire fandom knowing that more happened. Americans measuring stuff using anything but the actual metric system. This place is huge, Frank reported. The ruins stretch from the river to the base of that mountain over there, about half a kilometer. How far is that in regular measurements? Percy asked. Frank rolled his eyes. That is a regular measurement in Canada and the rest of the world. Only you Americans. About 5 or 6 football fields. Hazel interceded, feeding Arian a big chunk of gold. Percy spread his hands. That's all you needed to say. Phineas and Ferb are the most powerful Hephaestus kids. Change my mind. He shook his head weakly. Think rebirth. Try for 3 times. Isles of the Blessed. Annabeth sniffled. You always pushed yourself too hard. He held up his charred hand. Annabeth touched his fingertips. Did you? Luke coughed, and his lips glistened red. Did you love me? First reading as a kid. Rereading as an adult. She's 16. Percy, my son. The Olympians are calling upon their children to face a new beast. We must go to battle. Got it, father. I'll rally Camp Half-Blood so we can stop the. How we view the sea. How Percy views the sea. Groover, Ron. Getting duck over in the movies and being casted as Lefani's sidekick. Started in 2005 and became a beloved classic. Got a movie adaptation in 2010 that was universally despised by every fan of the franchise. Got a new adaptation 10 years later that was a little better than the previous one, but is still divisive among fans. You and I are not so different. Hazel. Percy was a child of Poseidon's better nature, powerful, but gentle and helpful, the kind of sea that sped ships to distant lands. Meanwhile, Percy and Tartarus. If I had a nickel for every time a beloved childhood series released in 2005 got a horrible live-action adaptation released in 2010, and then after 10 years had an announcement for another remake which looked promising, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Percy on the quest there takes a week. Percy on the quest home takes 5 hours. What is love? A chemical reaction caused by a bunch of BS that foolish people crave. Love is the most wonderful thing in life. It's like, baby, don't hurt me no more. Demigod cousins. Step siblings. It's fine cause they don't share DNA. The entire 12th Legion. Annabeth. Rihanna. whatever all-powerful being that was stupid enough to hurt Annabeth. Percy saves himself and others from death by thinking creatively, tricking his enemies, and coming up with effective strategies on the spot. Still gets called dumb. If I had a nickel for every time a beloved franchise got a adaptation movie in 2010 that was so bad that fans refused to acknowledge its existence, but later got a live-action adaptation show in the 2020s that fans were really hyped for, only for half the fans to love it and the other half to despise it, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Ideal heroes with genuine heroism who are highly respected and loved by everyone. Gaining immortality, dying by anchor in a single book.